Hello and good morning to all of our beloved and honored audience. My health and wellness always be bestowed upon us all. We would like to welcome you to our Wardaya Ielts preparatory course info sessions today, April 23rd, 2022. Please allow me to introduce myself first. My name is Stu. I will be the moderator today to guide all of us go through our info sessions today. I also would like to welcome our Wardaya College Ielts preparatory course teacher, Mr. Muhammad Mustaqim. Mr. Takim is already here with us today in person. Good morning, Mr. Takim.
Good morning, all.
First of all, I would like to explain a set of rules and regulations that apply all through today's info session. Number one, all audience are obliged to mute microphones all through today's info session. Microphones are only allowed to be opened once you enter the question and answer segment through the Zoom application raise hand feature. Number two, there will not be any handouts that would be distributed to the audience today. Number three, shall there be any question from any audience while the info sessions are still being conducted? Questions must be typed and sent through the Zoom application chat feature set to everyone. Number four, this info session is not going to be uploaded to any social media pages, including YouTube and Instagram. In conclusion, audiences are expected to pay attention to today's info session from the beginning until the end. Before we enter today's info session, I will enter the first segment of presenting the profile and programs of Wardaya College to all of us here. I will use Bahasa Indonesia to present the profile and the programs of Wardaya College. Wardaya College adalah institusi pendidikan dengan visi mencetak manusia yang berkualitas melalui keikutsertaan dalam kompetisi akademis dan perluasan kesempatan bagi siswa untuk meningkatkan kualitas pendidikan yang diterimanya. Melalui usaha-usaha ini, dalam usianya yang masih sangat muda, sejak didirikannya pada tahun 2013, Wardaya College telah berhasil membantu siswa-siswanya sehingga berhasil diterima di berbagai universitas ternama di dunia. Sesuai dengan posisinya sebagai institusi pendidikan yang revolusioner, program-program Wardaya College memiliki metode pengajaran yang melangkah lebih jauh dari sekedar penerapan rumus. Wardaya College mengajak murid untuk mendalami dan memahami pola materi sehingga pemecahan menjadi sesuatu yang instinktif. Pemahaman materi secara fundamental inilah yang memungkinkan murid-murid Wardaya College meraih prestasi dalam berbagai kompetisi akademis, baik di dalam negeri seperti Olimpiade Sains Nasional maupun di luar negeri. Pemahaman materi secara fundamental ini juga yang kemudian menjadi dasar metode belajar untuk seluruh program Wardaya College, termasuk program-program dan kompetisi yang memungkinkan siswa-siswa Wardaya College untuk meraih prestasi yang lebih baik, bahkan yang terbaik. Sadar bahwa kompetisi akademis cenderung didominasi oleh murid-murid dari sekolah yang berdomisili di kota besar dengan akses kepada tenaga pengajar dan fasilitas pengajar yang baik, Wardaya College juga giat mengadakan berbagai pelatihan di seluruh pelosok Indonesia, yang sebagian merupakan daerah 3T, yaitu tertinggal, terdepan, dan terluar. Diharapkan dengan pelatihan-pelatihan ini, murid-murid yang berpotensi dapat mendorong merealisasikan cita-citanya. Untuk lebih memeratakan kualitas pendidikan, Wardaya College mengembangkan sistem belajar online sehingga murid-murid dari seluruh Indonesia mempunyai kesempatan untuk mendapatkan pelatihan-pelatihan yang berkualitas. Beberapa program Wardaya yang sudah ada dan dilaksanakan di Wardaya College adalah top universitas, dan pre-universitas. Ketiga program ini adalah program persiapan calon-calon mahasiswa untuk dapat lulus ujian masuk ke universitas-universitas ternama di luar negeri. Kemudian ada pre-trust dan trust. Dua program ini adalah program yang mempersiapkan calon-calon mahasiswa untuk kemudian dapat lulus ujian masuk ke universitas mendapat di negara Indonesia secara nasional. Kemudian ada top SMP dan SMA. Ini adalah dua program yang dipersiapkan untuk calon-calon siswa-siswi pelajar untuk kemudian dapat lulus ke SMP dan SMA unggulan di Indonesia. Kemudian ada kelas untuk SD, SMP, dan SMA. Ini adalah kelas yang materinya adalah materi Olimpiade SMP, SD, dan SMA. Berikutnya ada kelas reguler nasional, kelas reguler internasional, camp Olimpiade, dan kelas persiapan Ielts dan SAT. Berikutnya program yang sudah dilaksanakan juga adalah Wardaya Toastmasters dan Club. Berikutnya adalah program persiapan tes ksn-k atau handshooting house. Selanjutnya adalah ada program kelas profesional seperti termasuk juga kelas entrepreneurship, kelas coding jenjang SD, SMP, dan SMA, kelas coding komputer, kelas persiapan beasiswa studi S2 dan S3, kelas persiapan beasiswa Singapura, SMP dan SMA, tes minat dan bakat, seminar edukasi, Wardaya editor, pelatihan guru, kompetisi dan olimpiade, serta program engagement. Salah satu perwujudan nyata dari visi dan misi Wardaya College adalah berdirinya Wardaya School atau Terutama Wardaya yang memiliki kurikulum gabungan dari 3 jenis kurikulum, yaitu kurikulum nasional, kurikulum internasional Cambridge dan Singapura, dan kurikulum pembenaran yang akan Kementerian Pendidikan aplikasikan atau implementasikan mulai dari tahun ini. Keunggulan SMA Wardaya College adalah tersedia beasiswa 100% bagi para peraih medali KSN atau kompetisi sains nasional, dan pengajar berkualitas dengan kualifikasi S3 dan S2. Selain itu, sekolahnya juga dapat sertifikat, yaitu sertifikat nasional Kementerian RI, sertifikat internasional Cambridge dan sertifikat profesional. Salah satu divisi di Wardaya College juga yang sebagai perwujudan nyata dari visi dan misi Wardaya College adalah berdirinya divisi Weekend atau Wardaya Education Consulting Agency. Weekend membantu persiapan aplikasi dan konsultasi untuk dapat diterima di universitas penjualan jenjang S1 dan S3. Para konselor berpengalaman profesional untuk memberikan layanan terbaik, dan Weekend dapat membantu persiapan bahasa, pengurusan visa, dan dokumen, pengarahan, dan bimbingan sebelum berangkat ke negara tujuan. Weekend juga memiliki jaringan yang luas dan kerjasama dengan universitas-universitas di berbagai negara. Kalau di Wardaya College juga sudah banyak diterima di universitas terjual setelah meraih beasiswanya. Konsultasi dengan para konselor ahli dan pengalaman dari universitas ternama dan kualitas pelayanan yang sangat bagus dan sepenuh hati. Salah satu program dari kerjasama dari Wardaya College, Weekend, dan Weekend adalah Wardaya Green River Community College, Pathways to the Top University in America. Program ini berbentuk adalah 1 tahun di Wardaya College secara online, dan 1 tahun di College di US, dan 2 tahun di Top University di Amerika Serikat atau Ielts. Tersedia beasiswa sampai dengan $500. Berikutnya, salah satu juga fitur dari Wardaya College adalah dapat bergabungnya calon-calon siswa-siswi Wardaya College di Toastmasters dan Jangan kelas. Jangan dan Toastmasters mendorong kaum muda untuk mengembangkan kapasitas dan kemampuan public speaking. Setiap anggota Jangan dan Toastmasters akan berbicara di depan umum dalam bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Inggris. Di dalam klub ini, setiap anggota Jangan harus berusia di bawah 17 tahun. Peserta akan dilatih untuk mengembangkan kemampuan public speaking, sedangkan Toastmasters Club untuk usia di atas 17 tahun dengan tujuan yang sama. Salah satu program yang akan Wardaya College laksanakan tahun ini adalah Indonesian Regional Competition atau atau yang singkatannya disebut IRC atau termasuk juga Indonesian Youth Business Idea Competition. Ini adalah kompetisi berskala nasional meraih beasiswa dan bimbingan langsung dari Wardaya College, dan ini adalah kesempatan terbaik untuk para siswa-siswi untuk bisa explore creative business idea dan serta memperbanyak relasi. Kompetisinya terbagi menjadi tiga regional, yaitu Indonesia Barat, Indonesia Tengah, dan Indonesia Timur. Pembagian ini mengacu pada pembagian zona waktu. Dengan ini diharapkan siswa-siswi Indonesia bagian Barat dan Timur semangat dalam berkompetisi dan untuk kepercayaan diri mereka untuk berkompetisi dalam skala nasional dan internasional. Untuk informasi lebih lanjut, boleh hubungi Wardaya College. Pada akhir dari proses ini, saya akan kembali menghadirkan slide ini kembali. Alright, before we enter today's session, I will enter the first. This is the end of the first segment of Wardaya College profile and programs presentation. Now, we will enter the second segment of Wardaya IELTS preparatory course program sessions with our Wardaya College IELTS preparatory course teacher, Mr. Takim. Mr. Takim, the platform is yours.
All right, thanks very much, Mr. Restu. Okay, 100%. Okay, good morning, everyone. May peace be upon us all. Wait. Yeah, thanks for joining this IELTS workshop by Wardaya College. And first, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mustakim, and I've been teaching IELTS and TOEFL for nearly 10 years. And today I'll be sharing my knowledge on IELTS, especially writing, to you all. Okay, due to the time limitations, as you can see on the schedule, we don't have much time. So I'll be discussing only what I think is kind of crucial in your writing task 1. And for further information, of course, after the sessions, you can always contact me, but please reach Wardaya College at any time, and you can have the discussions afterward. Okay, let's just kick off then. Okay, so I've just mentioned before that. So today is on the writing sections, and especially this writing task 1. Okay, so before I reach further or discuss further about this writing task 1, I'd like to have you all, if you are here, is it possible to turn on all your cameras so I can see you? It would be nice to see some faces and smiles here. No? Okay, then I'll just continue. But whenever it's possible, just open your camera and ask any questions. Feel free. Okay, first, I have 3 questions here. Our topic today is writing task 1. That's it's stated there. So I have 3 main questions, 3 initial questions. Writing task 1. What do you know about writing task 1? What actually the task is about? How many numbers of words do you have to write, and how much time do you have? Can anyone respond to those 3 questions? Anyone has taken IELTS test before? No? Okay, sorry. So I assume you're still thinking, and this is the first time for you to encounter with what writing IELTS is. So I'll just show you. Okay, writing IELTS. Writing task one. This is part where you have to write summary of information from one or more graphs, tables, charts, or diagrams. So there are ways to present the informations. The information is shown, is given to you with several ways. Then you have to find out, you have to familiar with this type of ways of presenting informations. Here, another important point is that you have to write an overview. This overview is crucial for your reader. Let's say assuming that your reader, it will be your what do you call it? Your rater, your examiner will be read by those who don't. We assume those people will not be able to understand the graph or the charts. That's why you have to help them, to give them what actually the chart is about, what actually tables are about, and etc. So you have to help them to understand what the information is all about. And the last question is you have to write in at least 150 words. Okay, that's my previous questions. How many words do you have? It's all 150 words. That is the minimum, or the at least the number of words you have to write, meaning you can write more than 150 words. Okay, so but the minimum requirement is 150 words. Why? Because 150 words is the normal, the average number of words where candidates can explain the whole graph clearly. So in writing IELTS, you have in total 60 minutes. But you have to remember that in 60 minutes, you are given 2 tasks. And the title is writing task 1. Of course, there is task 2. So in 60 minutes, you have to cover both tasks, writing task 1 and writing task 2. So in writing task 1, the time is quite short. It's only 20 minutes. So you have to really efficient when how to analyze those diagrams, how to analyze those charts, and what to select, what to write. So you have to be prepared, well prepared, because 20 minutes is that much time to write, especially when you have to write overview. Okay, this all we are going to cover. Not we cannot cover all today again, but we're going to cover some of the important points that you need to perform in writing task 1. Okay, the first point is about graph, tables, chart, and diagrams. I underlined those words because those are the first step, the first word you're going to produce later. You have to be able to distinct, to differ between graphs, tables, charts, and diagram. Okay, first of all, okay. Now, I'm going to share you a link. Okay, please check on your chat box, everyone. Now you have a link there. Just copy the link, then paste under your web browser, and you will be directed to this page. Yes, you will be directed to this page. Okay. As you can see now on your left, you have 5 different ways of showing informations. You have A, B, C, D, E, and E. And on your right, On the right, you have 5 sticky notes with different colors. What I want you to do is to match them. Which picture match which sticky notes? Okay, you can just simply click and drag this to move around here, there, etc. If somebody has moved this sticky notes here, but you don't think that is the answer, you can just click and duplicate the items, the sticky notes, and put it here like this. Okay. So I'll give you 2 minutes to do this. Everyone, please now access the links shared on the chat box and match these pictures with the sticky notes. Still waiting. But still, you are also allowed to join the game, this activity. Okay, now I see some people are coming in, and pie chart is there, and somebody is moving bar chart and diagram. Let's wait for everything's completed. Yes, okay. So everything is set. Now, as you can see on your screen, we have 5 different ways of showing informations. So you have to be able to distinct this one, to differ this one between line graphs and bar charts. Yeah, you have to be clear when mentioning the way the information is presented. Is it line graph? Yes. A is line graph. Is it pie chart, like in B, or bar chart in C? I believe most of us are already familiar with bar chart. We have had them quite a lot in many different aspects of our life. And in picture D, you have that as diagram. So it's normally a process. It gives us some process or some stages. Here is quite simple. This is the machine of producing electricity. And lastly is E. They are tables. Yes, again, tables and bar charts are relatively common to our lives. Yes, very good. So these are 5 different ways that you will have showing information that you will have in writing task 1. So you have to mention which way the information is presented. Why? It is important to mention how that will be answered right away here. Okay, so before I walk further here, so I have click. I have only one question. Just only one phrase there. First impressions. Okay. Do you think first impression matters? Is first impression important to you? Now, I'd like to invite you again to communicate, to interact with me. I want you to give me your thumbs up if you think first impression matters, if you think first impression is important. But I want you to do the opposite, to a thumb down if you think first impression is not important. So what do you think? Yes. Pastor says it is important. Tristan says as well, it is. It matters. How about the others? Okay, so I see some hesitation there. Okay, indeed, many people believe that first impressions matters because it can tell us. Well, I read some articles saying that 70% of people make their judgment on their first impressions on something or someone. Therefore, first impressions here is also important. So, in our daily life, we make first impression by, let's say, wearing good clothes, smells good, do your hair, and etc. But what about writing? So what does first impression nothing to doing here? So first impression in your writing task one is of course about the first paragraph, the first sentence you write. Right now, I'm giving you this line graph, with the first sentence you normally have when responding to writing task one. Okay, have a look at picture A here. The graph shows the changes in the number of people from abroad who visited Townsville, Queensland, over a 4-year period. Okay, now I want you to have a look at this sentence closely and then answer 3 questions provided there. Now I want you to break that sentence into 3 parts. Okay, the first part, which word or words do you think say how the information is shown, presented? Then the second part is which word or words do you think explain the purpose of the graph using the writer's own words, of course, avoiding copy paste. And then the third part is which word or words do you think express the time period the information covers? You can respond by texting on the chat box, or you can open your mic and say it directly. I'll give you some time. Three parts. Divide the sentence into 3 parts. The first part is how, which part says how the information is presented. The second part is how, which. Okay, so I have a couple of responses here through direct message. Yeah, thanks very much. So we have, okay, I'll give you some more time. Okay, so I'm waiting for maybe 1 or 2 more responses. I've got a couple here. Just a hint, number 1 is relatively short, related to our practice activity when you match those pictures and sticky notes. Yep. Okay. Now I have received a couple more responses. Yeah, unfortunately, they are on direct messages. Now I'll just show you. Okay. So here, 3 parts. 3 parts of this one sentence. This is your first impression. This is your first sentence in your writing task. It should give you all information presented in quite short and informative. Okay, so as you can see, the first group is only in the graph. This is how the information is presented, is shown, is given to you. How? Is it a graph? Is it a line chart? Is it pie chart? And etc. Oh, sorry, hold on. Responses are still coming. Yeah. Yes. That's the first group, the graph, how the information is presented to you, is given to you. And the second part is the purpose of the graph itself. So as you can see here, it shows the changes in the number of people from abroad who visit Townsville, Queensland. It's specific. It is about the changes in number, where, and Townsville, Queensland. It's not everywhere. It's specific. Okay. The table, the graph is specific. It's specific information about that certain location, that certain data and place. The last part is about the time. Okay. The time is not just all the time. It's not just random years, but it's over a 4-year period. So it's quite generic though. We say over a 4-year period because again, in the line graph is quite simple. Okay, so over a year period, if it is mentioned between the year 1990 to 2000, then you can say it. Over 10-year period, or over 10 years of 1992 and 2000. So this first sentence in your writing task 1 should be like this: informative and efficient. Okay. My next questions before we proceed is you can also see that if you remember the words change. We don't really copy paste the words from the title, from the graph. You just not just copy, oh, that's a chart. That's the chart, blah, blah, blah. Just copy paste the title. No, we cannot really do that because you will lose mark for that. Okay, so we use the writer's own words. Okay, let's go next. Okay, another activity. Now I'm going to give you remember that previously so you have tracked 5 sticky notes into 5 different pictures. Now you have had one picture A. Okay. Now please do picture B and C. I'm again sending you a link. Sorry, hang on. Share you a link. Please have a look at the link below, and you can also scan this barcode, and it will direct you to wait to have access to. A new link is sent onto the chat box. Please have a look, and you can also scan this with your smartphones. Okay. Copy paste the link onto your web browser or scan it, and it will direct you to this page. On that page, you have 2 pictures. And you have similar questions. As you can see, you have you'll be directed here. Okay, so this is pie chart and bar chart you had earlier. Okay, and this is the introductory sentences you have above here. Okay, now I want you to rearrange these sentences into a good introductory sentences. Okay, so you have B and C. You can type your response here. Just add comment as here. Okay, right below the graph, or you can have this one on your bottom right. You have plus sign here. You can click on it, and you'll have this one. It pops up after you click that plus sign. You can type here and submit your response, and don't forget to click on publish. Write introductory sentences for pie chart B and bar chart C by putting these phrases into the correct order. Okay, you have be careful. The phrases are not separated well grammatically, so you have to consider like commas, and I put some punctuation there, comma and full stop to help you basically. And you have the dash that indicate the phrases. For example, in B, you have the first the language, and the language, that's one phrase. In Manchester, California, that's one phrase. And the chart illustrates. So two clues already. It's quite clear that a sentence must start in a capital letter. You have a capital letter there, and a sentence must end in a full stop, and there is a full stop as well there. Yeah, so you have the beginning and the end uh, of the answers already. Okay. Okay. So yes, thank you for the response. The chart illustrates the number of households in Manchester, California, and the language which people speak there. Okay, yeah, that's very accurate. Okay, so we have a couple of response already. Yes. The chart gives information about the difficulties people have when they integrate into any country and how the companies can according to age. Very good. Anonymous and Tristan. Okay. Yes, those are the correct sentence. Okay. Sorry. Picture. Excuse me. In picture B, you have a chart. You have pie chart. So you can write the chart or pie chart. The pie chart illustrates, as you can see, illustrates. I don't use the word shows again, like in like before. The chart illustrates the number of households in Manchester, California, and the languages which people speak there. Okay. Now, if you compare between graph B and C, there is one additional different as well. Difference. The chart gives us. I use, okay, yeah, automatically I use the chart, but you can also refer to the bar chart. The bar chart gives information about the difficulties people have when they integrate into a new country and how the problem vary according to age. Okay. Yes. Okay, that's very good. No more responses. Okay, but the link is there. You can always update your answers here. After the sessions, you can still give your response. Don't worry, you have the link. Okay, we were here, and okay, conclusion. So, what 3 points we have to cover in the introductory sentences? There are 3 to indicate. The first part is how the information is presented. The second part, right in the middle, is the purpose of the graph, the goals, what's in the graph, that data, what information is in the graph chart and stuff. And the last part is the time period. See, it is specific: where, when, what, and how. Okay, so all those questions are answered in your very first sentence. Yes, that is correct. How the information is presented, and then what is the information in the graph. Thank you, Restu, for being interactive, and also the information, the purpose or the goal of the graph and the time periods. Yes, indeed. Now, if you are all aware of those already, okay. Now this is your part. We almost reach the time limit. Okay, now you have some time here. Says this is for your exercise. Write your own introductory sentence for diagram D and E. Okay. Okay, in diagram E, you have July, August, September. So that's the last part. That's the time period we've been talking about previously. But what about D? If there is no time there is no months, no year, or any period. So you don't have to. Because there is no time there is no place, no information about place. But you can infer there is a wave there. So a wave that isn't on a land, but have a try. Where do we normally have waves? I'll give you some time. It might be, I'll count to 5 minutes. I think would be enough. Feel free to ask if you have any difficulties. Okay, I have received some responses. Okay, yes, the first answer is from Restu. Yeah, this diagram illustrates a possible wave energy machine for generating electricity. Yes, that's relatively simple, but that's what is necessary. That's what is needed. However, it would be better if you change the word this into the diagram. Which diagram? The diagram presented. So not this diagram, because that doesn't sound academical. So instead, use the diagram or the diagram above. You can also mention that. Okay, and the second answer is yeah, like your second answer, the table. The table shows the number of students in Broadlands Language School and the average number of weeks spent there per students during the months July, August, and September. Yes, again, this is very good opening sentences, introductory sentence. However, it would be if you say mention during the months July, August, and September, we can actually not that that is incorrect, but we can really shorten that into this offer 3 months period or during July, August, and September without mentioning the months July, August, and September. Yes, because that sounds quite Indonesian as well. It sounds like bahasa. So bulan Juli, Agustus, September. No, we don't really use month July. So directly say July, August, and September. Okay, but that's very good, Tristan. And from Barstu is the diagram explains the possible wave energy machines, which consists of a turbine and a generator for generating electricity using a wave and air flows. Yes, this is very specific and this is very good. There is no language error, there is no grammatical error, and it is quite really detailed. Very good, Barstu. And for diagram tables, E is the table display the number of students at Broadlands Language Schools and the average number of weeks spent at college for students throughout July, August, and September. Yes, there is only one spelling mistake here, September. I think that's yeah, by mistake. It's SPE, September. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like minor mistakes, but again, we don't want to lose any marks, any scores here. So that will well of if you have only one misspell like that, it will not affect your score. But if you have multiple that cost you some scores, you might lose like a 0.5 score. So again, so you have to within 20 minutes, you have to spare some time to check. Within maybe 2 or 3 minutes, spend some time to check your awful writing before submitting. Um, check about the grammatical error, check about punctuation, check about your pronounce how you spell that words, and etc. So be careful. Okay. Yes. Um. So I have received a couple of responses, and both shows really or superb responses. It's really academical. It's really detailed. So I believe our mini session here is effective. So hopefully you can learn from these mini lessons, and we can also learn more if you join us here. So again, sorry for being quite short because have some time limitations. So we have to end shortly. And of course, please sign up, please contact us, please reach us for further tips and tricks on all skills. I just give you only 1 point in writing task 1. There are a bunch of tips on how to deal with writing task 1. So again, to maximize the time, to be efficient, because you didn't have much time, only 20 minutes. Even we haven't covered writing task 2, which is actually bigger than writing task 1. So you have to write 250 words in about approximately 40 minutes. How do you do that? Again, we'll be discussing all of those trouble in our class. So again, thanks very much. I'll end my session here. I'll give the floor to Mr. Restu again. Thank you very much, Mr. Restu, and bye everyone.
All right. Thank you very much to our Wardaya College as preparatory course teacher, Mr. Fakir. Such an insightful, informative, and horizon-broadening presentation session. Now we are approaching our third and last segment of question and answer. I would like to remind all our audiences for today's session about the two methods of submitting questions. The first method is by clicking raise hand feature button. And the second method is by typing and sending your questions using the chat feature. Before we open our segment of question and answer, I would like to invite Miss Kiki, Miss Reski, to say a word or two. Miss Reski, your voice could not come out.
Is it clear already?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you clear.
good. Okay, I put off the microphone. Thank you very much. Actually, all the people.
Bukan speaker.
Wait. Oke, aku nggak begitu banyak kasih tahu di sini. Cuman aku mau kasih tahu kepada teman-teman semua yang ikut join di kelas, ikut join di webinar saat ini. Actually, kenapa IELTS itu perlu? Aku mau kasih tahu juga. Karena IELTS itu ini adalah sebuah gerbang untuk memasuki aplikasi atau applied untuk university yang ada di luar negeri ya, Singapura, NTU, NUS, United States, Australia, atau yang lainnya, itu semua rata-rata perlu IELTS. Jadi kalau seandainya kita nilai bagus pun, kalau kita IELTS-nya belum siap, kita akan sulit untuk mengejar untuk bisa diterima. Oleh karena itu, teman-teman sangat ini adalah sebuah gerbang pertama gitu loh untuk sebuah aplikasi pendaftaran. Jadi kita minta teman-teman, kalau yang sekarang kelas 11, kita setidaknya sampai bulan Oktober November tahun 2022, kelas 11 tuh sekarang mau menaik kelas 12 kan, karena aplikasi untuk top university itu start from Oktober. Jadi kalau seandainya kita berhitung, waktu kita tuh sekitar 6 sampai 7 bulan aja untuk persiapan meningkatkan IELTS atau persiapan untuk menutup band-band kita, writing kita, atau speaker kita yang kurang dari 6. Oleh karena itu, ini sangat penting. Teman-teman kalau seandainya mau bertanya, oke, tapi aku juga mau kasih tahu kenapa IELTS itu sangat perlu sekali. Jadi, di sini memang Mr. Takim akan menjelaskan secara rinci nanti di dalam kelas bagaimana clue-clue atau hints-hints untuk bisa menaikkan skor ya. Begitu ya, Mr. Takim ya?
Iya, betul sekali.
Jadi nggak cuman hanya sekedar latihan dan sebagainya, tapi kita berharap dalam waktu 2 bulan kita belajar untuk IELTS preparation ini kita bisa meningkatkan at least 1.5 atau kalau anak studentnya outstanding dan bisa kejar 1, gitu nggak Pak Mr. Pakib? Kira-kira?
Yeah, the average improvement what makes sense is 1 to 1.5. 1 sampai 1,5 itu dalam waktu 2 bulan seharusnya sih bisa, sangat mungkin sekali.
Oke. Oke, jadi teman jelas ya. Ada yang mau ditanya lagi nggak kira-kira? Atau any question terkait sama ini? Oke, selanjutnya kita juga mau kasih tahu bahwa kalau teman-teman mendaftar sekarang, kita dapat tambahan lagi untuk 5% ya, terus sama free teaser untuk reading dan writing yang kita adakan hari Senin. Kita akan ada kelas cepat ini minggu depan hari Selasa. Kalau teman-teman oke untuk mau join kelas minggu depan ini, kita kasih teasernya untuk hari Senin dan dapat potongan 5% dari harga yang sekarang kita juga lagi promo dari 4 juta menjadi 3 juta, terus tambah lagi potongan 5% dari 3 juta menjadi 2 juta 850. Jadi kira-kira seperti itu ya. Ada yang mau bertanya? Pak Restu, mungkin saya bisa kembalikan ke Pak Restu untuk question and answer-nya.
Alright, mates. We are still opening the question and answer segment. Is there any question from the audience?
Karena gini ya, nambahin lagi. 6 bulan itu enggak, kalau kita hitung 6 bulan itu sangat cepat dari sekarang. Jadi kalau misalnya kita ambil kelas Pak Mr. Hakim ini 2 bulan, berarti sekitar bulan Mei, Juni, paling tidak bulan Juli itu kita bisa lihat apakah IELTS score kita itu masih cukup, karena mereka kalau untuk NTU, NUS dan sebagainya itu mereka rata-rata minimal tuh mesti 6,5 ya, dengan band tidak boleh ada di bawah 6. Berarti yang 5,5-nya itu butuh waktu, apalagi kalau seandainya bandnya ada beberapa yang di bawah 6. Jadi teman-teman harus super intensif untuk memperbaiki IELTS-nya ini skornya. Jadi nggak boleh ada di bawah 6,5 atau di bawah 6 ya untuk beberapa band, apalagi writing-nya. So this is really important. Jadi untuk yang teman-teman kelas 11, kebayangkan kalau seandainya mau masuk NTU atau NUS atau beberapa universitas yang memang membutuhkan tes juga selain IELTS. Kalau misalnya IELTS sekarang kita udah selesai, udah minimal dapat 6,5, jadi teman-teman bisa fokus untuk entrance testnya yang bulan Oktober, November, dan Desember itu gitu ya. Jadi kita kayak mesti berstrategi untuk bisa menghadapi aplikasi pendaftaran untuk Stockholm University. Seperti itu kira-kira. Kalau nggak berstrategi langsung itu agak-agak sulit ya kita ininya. Jadi memang untuk anak-anak yang memang bisa tembus untuk NTU US itu rata-rata mereka start dari kelas 10 atau start dari kelas 11, persiapan bahasa Inggrisnya juga udah bagus. Jadi this is mostly about how you make some strategy agar bisa tembus untuk UNIF-nya. Dan gerbang pertama yang harus kita hadapi adalah IELTS-nya atau English Proficiency Test. Nggak cuma IELTS sih, sebenarnya ada beberapa hal yang lain juga bisa. Oke, begitu Pak. Ada yang mau ditambahkan mungkin Mr. Takim sama Pak Restu atau yang lain?
Ada sedikit minta waktunya ya. Jadi nanti di kuliah akan, ketika kita kuliah, kita teman-teman semua kuliah nanti akan membutuhkan banyak kemampuan dalam reading comprehension, karena kuliah di luar negeri tidak seperti kuliah di kita cuma mendengarkan guru, mendengarkan dosen, tapi juga lebih banyak tugas untuk membaca, to do research in libraries. So it needs a lot of a good reading comprehension and writing skills, karena nanti juga banyak term papers that you have to submit within like short period of time. Jadi nanti harus melaporkan juga. Nanti kita akan belajar bagaimana cara summarize information and etc. So reading comprehension and writing skills, there are two main skills that you need to survive in abroad universities. Ya, itu menggambarkan sedikit banyak pentingnya. Lagi, ya, Bu Reski menyebutkan bahwa ini adalah betul gerbang. Ini bukan hal utama yang dibutuhkan, tapi ini adalah pembuka. Syarat masuk biasanya selalu meminta untuk kemampuan bahasa Inggrisnya.
Ya.
Itu saja dari saya.
Oke, terima kasih Mr. Taking. Jadi teman-teman juga di luar kelas IELTS ini juga intensif untuk belajar everyday itu setiap hari minimal 1-2 jam gitu ya. Kalau aku kasih tahu kepada student yang aku bantu gitu ya. Oke, kelas is good, really important and really supporting our skill, but practice is most important also. Jadi at least 1 day, 1 or 2 hours ya, every day kita practice, not only in speaking, also in writing or at least reading and watching movie. Watching movie is really important also, really. Tapi hilangin teksnya, maksudnya teks Indonesianya hilangin ya. Jadi lebih, jadi belajar di situ untuk memahami orang bercakap-cakap atau bahasa Inggris sehari-hari. Jadi harus begitu. Kalau enggak hilang. Karena dia up and down. Jadi kalau kemampuan skill bahasa itu sangat dipengaruhi dengan melatihnya. Kalau kita tiba-tiba 2 bulan nggak ada latihan bahasa Inggris sama sekali, yang tadinya bagus, fluently bisa turun. Jadi kayak gitu. Oke. Terima kasih. Ini kayak kita udah pas dari jam 12. Ada pertanyaan lagi terakhir? Saya kembalikan kepada Mbak Restu sama Mr. Kim. Thank you, Mr. Takim. Mr. Restu.
Sama-sama.
All right, Mr. Leslie. With the end of our third segment previously, we are finally at the end of our today's info session. Before I end today's info session, I would like to remind our audience today to follow Wardaya College on Instagram at Wardaya College Official for further information regarding all programs and events of Wardaya College. Once again, I would like to thank you, our Wardaya College as preparatory course teacher, for the time today. Thank you very much, Mr. Taki. Thank you very much as well to our all audience today. You all have all been such lovely and wonderful audience. Should there be any inconvenience occur for our info sessions today, I hereby apologize deeply. Finally, I will end today's info session now. Good morning, good health, and may wellness be upon us all.
Bye. Bye, everyone.